All right, hey everyone. So we really need to take some time and talk about this whole Trump stimulus package and what this means for Social Security beneficiaries, as there's a lot of questions coming in on this and things are happening super fast right now. We're getting a lot of changes out. In fact, just last night alone, we saw some different changes coming out of lawmakers where they actually moved the package even closer. Now, this is a multi-trillion dollar tax bill or reconciliation bill, stimulus package, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of people are calling it many different things. So I want to spend some time talking about it here in this video because I've been getting a lot of questions about this. I've seen it out in the headlines a ton lately, and I just want to let you know what's in this for Social Security. Now, there are some things out there for Social Security beneficiaries, some things for seniors, and just want to point it out for you because when we have this much money in packages like this, as I've mentioned before in other videos, which is, well, there's always going to be some kind of crumbs within the package, right? So anytime that they're spending trillions of dollars in these packages, a lot of times there's something within them for us, right? Well, we really need to dig through the details on this because the president actually flipped on this and lawmakers are flipping on this as well, which is super interesting because I talked about this last night in a video as well. And I was sharing with you in that video that I was like, hey, this is not the original plan. This is not what they came up with and what they originally brought to us and sold us on over the last, year and a half or so. So things have changed in a pretty big way. But I want to point out a couple different details because we keep seeing these headlines out that are like, oh, huge stimulus package, $4 trillion, or, whatever the details like this are. And again, I've been sharing with you for a while now as well that, hey, this is multiple trillions of dollars that we're dealing with here. There's likely going to be something. All right, so anyway, let's just discuss what's going on here in this pack. Now, obviously, I'm not going to run through every last detail of it simply because there's really no need to, honestly. I could certainly do that in a dedicated live stream or a video, but that'd be a very long video. There's a lot to it, a lot of moving parts. But let me point out a few of the different changes out there that are within the initial framework. Okay, so remember, a few days ago we got the House version of this that was introduced. They've been moving forward with procedural votes and all kinds of things to continue to move this forward, right? So the goal is to have this thing passed here within the next few weeks. That's not going to happen. Okay, we probably have, I would guess, I don't know, month and a half, 2 months before they actually get this thing done. They wanted to have it done by the end of this month. That's definitely not happening at all. We knew that months ago when they called it and said, oh, by the end of May we want it done. That's not happening. Okay, anyway, so let's talk through just a few of them that are out there. Okay, so one of the big ones that we heard for the last, I don't know, year and a half or so was no more taxes on Social Security, right? We've been hearing this one for a very long time, and this only impacts about 50% of total beneficiaries. Now, what's interesting about this is they kind of dropped their whole pitch on this, which is super fascinating because we've been hearing about it. No more taxes on Social Security. They've been selling us on this forever, and now they kind of changed their tune on it, and they flipped on this whole decision now. So rather than this, oh, by the way, to be fair with you, I did talk about this last night in the video, but I'm throwing it here in this one as well just because this is something we want to pay attention to because this would impact about 35 million seniors. A lot of people, and we got a lot of money. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars potentially on the table here. Okay, so rather than actually implementing no more taxation on Social Security benefits, what they really want to do is expand the bonus or the extra standard deduction for seniors, okay? So right now we all get access to the standard deduction on our tax return, right? I talked about this last night in the video. By the way, quick disclaimer, nope, this is not tax advice. This is not accounting advice. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. I'm not your accountant. I'm not your CPA. Talk to your own professional. But anyway, so right now we have all the access to the standard deduction, right? So if you go to file your federal tax return, you can claim the standard deduction. Most people can either claim that or itemize, whatever is greater for that person. Obviously, it's all specific to each person's individual situation. But anyway, for anybody that's age 65 or over, or people who are blind, right? There's some other qualifications as well, but generally it's for seniors 65 and over. They have an additional standard deduction, right? So you can take it on top of the standard deduction, basically just reducing somebody's taxable income, okay? Well, what they want to do, rather than having this whole no more taxes on Social Security, they want to increase the standard deduction by $4,000 for seniors. Now, this would not be a permanent provision, but rather it would be a limited time provision, basically this year, 2025 through 2028. So it would only be a handful of years, and then it would go back down to whatever it is now. I'm honestly not even sure what it is now. I think it's right around $1,600 or so. So it'd be going down back to that or whatever. And by the way, it would be indexed to inflation, so it would continue to increase a little tiny bit every single year, which would honestly be pretty nice for seniors, okay? So that's one big provision that's out there, and obviously all of this is still up for grabs. They could come in and they could change any of this, they could remove any of it, all of it like that, right? So that's a big one that they want to do, and that would be in place of no more taxation on Social Security benefits. Okay, that's awesome, right? Now another big one that I've seen out there, and this one doesn't necessarily impact a lot of seniors, it certainly does impact some, but I want to throw out the details for you really quickly, which is they want to expand the child tax credit payment, okay? Now again, I know a lot of you here in this community probably don't care about this all that much, but they want to expand the child tax credit payment and actually increase it by another $500 up to $2,500. Okay, well that would be pretty good for a lot of people, not necessarily seniors, but I do know that there are some of you here in this community that are maybe grandparents and you are the legal guardian of your grandchildren, right? So if that is your situation, again, I don't know your exact situation, but in those types of situations, you may be able to claim your grandchild as your dependent on your tax return, and that potentially could be one of those situations where you could be eligible for that money. And a portion of that, by the way, is also refundable, meaning even if your income is zero, you still may get a credit on that, as in a refund back to you, okay? So these are some of them that are out there. Now, I've also seen this discussion, and again, I'm gonna be fair with you, I've talked about this as well, which is they could potentially add any type of stimulus, more stimulus, whatever it happens to be, into this package. Now, I want to make it very clear, obviously not guaranteed, but just yesterday alone as well, the president was ripping the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, again, too late Powell, I think is what he called him, right? Too late Powell. In other words, not lowering or reducing interest rates fast enough. So the president is pretty upset with Powell that he's not lowering these interest rates. Well, eventually, I've been saying this for a long time, and this is the reality of the situation, which is with these interest rates that are staying very high like this, it's going to contract on the economy. I mean, we've already started to see it. We've seen a lot more impacts of the overall tariffs on the overall economy, but eventually we're going to see way more of this high interest rate environment really impacting the economy in a massive way. You've heard me talk about that before. I don't want to turn this into a big economic lesson and hammer that forever, but you kind of get the point behind that. That's a really big one as well. Now, the point that I want to make on that is that depending on how long it really takes them to pass this reconciliation bill, otherwise known as the tax bill or the Trump stimulus package, again, whatever you want to call it, there's a bunch of interchangeable names that are out there. However long it takes them to do this, if we get into, say, June and July, when we start to see a lot of this really negative economic data hitting the wire, which is, we're not going to see the impacts of their overall tariffs until like June and July, right? We're still just kind of humming along now. Things seem good. Oh, we're fine and all is good right now. But that's right now, okay? Wait until we get out into June and July and we really start to see the impacts of the tariffs that are really coming in and hammering on a lot of the economic data that's coming out, okay? Now that is the kind of the point that I want to make, is that if we get into a situation where the economy is really struggling along, Federal Reserve still has the interest rates very high, they could potentially add anything into this package as they want. And as I've said before in other videos, a lot of times they add some kind of little provision, like little crumbs for us, the people, in the form of stimulus or whatever it happens to be, as literally a smokescreen to kind of distract us so they can siphon trillions of dollars wherever they want, right? So there's a lot of moving parts around this whole thing. It's still taking shape. Lawmakers, like I said, late last night, they came forward and they moved this package forward a little bit further. There's still a lot of work ahead of them. I've seen some headlines out there saying, oh, it's passing next week. No, it's not even close. We have a little bit of time. I would guess probably within the next 2 months, give or take a little bit, depending on how things go here, but I'll certainly keep you posted on that. Anyway, I want to give you a quick update here on where we stand with this package and what's going on with it, and just some of the different things we've seen in there for seniors, Social Security beneficiaries, things like that. But as of right now, It's not like some huge hooray, wow, look at this. Money's just going to be falling from the sky and it's going to be helicopter money again, like what we saw back in 2020, 2021, when they passed trillions of dollars worth of stimulus packages. Not that yet, but if we continue to see all this economic data really contracting and we're seeing this coming in, at the same time that they're passing this, they could throw anything into this package that they want, essentially. Obviously, there are some rules and restrictions around what can be added into reconciliation bills. It all has to be approved by the Senate parliamentarian as well. That's another really big one as well. So that person needs to basically go through it with a fine-tooth comb and say, yep, you can add it, or no, you got to take this out of there. And then the president will say, hey, we're not going to listen to you anyway. We're going to do what we want. And then they'll just do whatever. But we'll see what happens here. And again, I know I've been saying that for a long time, but that's kind of the situation that we're in right now. And I'll certainly keep you posted on this. Anyway, I want to come back on here really quickly, just kind of give you a quick update as far as where we stand right now. A lot of things are changing rapidly. Totally get that. And I'll certainly keep you posted on this. Otherwise, hey, if you need any help with your Medicare, hey, check this out right here. Phone number. Hope it's there. Anyway, again, if you need any help with your initial enrollment into Medicare, if you're turning 65 or you're retiring, if you're moving across state lines or county lines, or if you need help with, again, your Medicare supplement, your Medigap plan, your Part D plan, your Medicare Advantage, whatever it happens to be, please just utilize this service. It's a free, 100% free service to help you out with your Medicare in any way that they possibly can. Okay, ask them all the questions you write. I mean, seriously, give them a call and write down your list of questions and just call them and just ask all your questions you want. It's a free resource. We cultivated the partnership here on the channel to help you with your Medicare. It's massively confusing, and about 70 million seniors are in this position. Anyway, you get it. Otherwise, hey, if you're new here, if you've not done so, please subscribe. 100% free. Big subscribe button down below. Otherwise, check out the other 5,000 plus videos here on the channel. Until next time, hey, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your day. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be, and catch you again later in the next one. See you for now. See ya.